Voy a poner un timer aquí porque vea.
No, después porque ya va a empezar a hablar.
Well, welcome everybody. I just want to say a few words before we begin. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. This was a say that by Mahatma Gandhi. I like to think about this message because for me it's more like a wake-up call for all humanity, because we are used to take and take and take and never think about what we're doing to our planet Earth. So what we're doing right now, one of the few problems that we're doing to our Earth is more the drilling and the mining of fossil fuels like gas, oil, and coal. The problem with this, according to the Wilderness Society, is more like we got 7 problems around. We got the first, the machinery in the landscapes. They destroy the sites for the tourists. Also, we got the toxic gas emission from these machineries. They pollute the air, and of course the landscapes that we carry right now. Also, where they put this machinery, they destroy, in this, like in this picture, the ocean, or in this picture, that landscape, that environment. And these also all disrupt the normal way of life of the wildlife in that zone. Also, transporting these fossil fuel, specifically gas and oil, if you don't transport it really well, you can have an oil spill. And if you were in the ocean, you contaminate all the ocean, and you got a pretty bad problem over there. So what I like to say about this problem is more like we got 2 solutions. One, a realistic way that's said by the Professor Richard Heinsberg, a senior fellow of the Post-Carbon Institute. He said that the easiest way is to start replacing the coal with solar and wind for electricity generations. He says this in his paper is mostly because people need time to change the way they think about these renewable fuels, and you cannot change these now for tomorrow. It needs probably 2 decades, as he said. So the first thing is to change that coal, and then when people are used to that, is to change the fossil fuel to the renewable fuels, like fuels made from grass, corn, and algae. Also, we have some renewable fuels like solar, hydrogen, and ethanol, and many other more. And we got the kind of like the difficult way, the most unrealistic way, and is to expect our governments to make a pact and stop and cease all the drilling and all the mining for these fossil fuels, and use that money that they're saving into the sponsor and investment of these research for the renewable fuels like solar, hydrogen, and ethanol, etc. And also some of the machinery that we're going to be using for the use of these new ways of fuel. When we see all the solutions that we can see, even though that some is kind of going to be hard, like the Professor Robert Lyman says, that also the 90% of our probably fuels that we carry right now is oil, so it's going to be hard to complete all of this. But if we do our best and we make it happen, we're going to have some clean cities, more technological advancements, because we're going to have the problem of be scared that we're going to run out of some electricity or some fuel at some point, because that is the problem also with the fossil fuels. You don't know when we're going to run out of it. So we're going to have some clean cities without pollution of these toxic gases from the machinery of the drilling and the mining of fossil fuels, and some greener spaces, because we are now destroying our landscape and environment to make those sites for drilling and everything. But if we don't do anything and we continue giving the cold shoulder to this problem, we're going to have some destruction. There's destruction of the environment, destruction of earth, destruction of wildlife. We're going to have some problems like this penguin that is bathed in oil, and not just the penguins, we're going to have fish, we're going to have contamination in the sea, probably we're going to run out, we're going to make extinct a few species of animals, so it's going to be difficult to live after that. So I would like to say that if we all become one voice, nobody's going to hide it. So if we continue doing this and talking about it, and maybe change our way of thinking about these type of fuels, probably we're going to make a better future for us, for our children, and for whoever comes next. Thank you, everybody. And
Yes! Ahora dijo mamá y la que antes.